In the heart of China's vast and windswept Gobi Desert, a new and unexpected story is unfolding, one that is not just about survival, but about the return of water and the promise of life. Here, where there was once only silence, endless sand, and the harsh whisper of the wind, something remarkable is beginning to take root. For centuries, deserts have symbolized loss, scarcity, and the limits of what is possible for humanity and nature alike. But what if these ancient landscapes could be transformed? What if they could become powerful symbols of renewal, hope, and ingenuity? This is the story of a daring experiment, where human ingenuity meets the relentless resilience of nature, and where bold ideas are put to the ultimate test. As our world faces the challenges of growing populations, increasing water shortages, and the unpredictable effects of climate change, the need for innovative solutions has never been more urgent or more important. In the heart of the Gobi, a team of scientists and visionaries are asking a bold question. Can we reverse the relentless march of desertification and bring vibrant life back to the driest corners of our planet? The answer is being written in the shimmering scales of millions of fish, swimming in clear blue channels where none have ever swum before, their presence a testament to what is possible. Their journey is a lesson in adaptation and survival, showing us how even the smallest creatures can spark monumental change and inspire new ways of thinking about our environment. Join us as we explore this remarkable transformation, one that could redefine not only the Gobi, but our entire relationship with the natural world and the future of our planet. The curtain rises on an extraordinary performance, a story with profound implications for water, food, and the very future of life on Earth. The Gobi Desert, a relentless sea of sand, has shaped northern China for generations. Dust storms from its arid plains have buried farmland and choked cities, a process fueled by overgrazing, unsustainable farming, and climate change. The Chinese government's Great Green Wall, a massive tree planting effort, had mixed results, straining water resources and failing to create lasting ecosystems. Desertification threatens millions, forcing families to abandon ancestral lands and migrate to crowded cities. The urgency for a new approach became clear. Fighting the desert wasn't enough. Scientists began to look beyond trees and irrigation, seeking a solution that would restore a stable water cycle. The focus shifted to creating a self-sustaining, living system, one that could rejuvenate the land itself. This set the stage for an audacious ecological experiment. The question, could the desert be revived from within? The idea sounded impossible. Introduce millions of fish into the desert. But the plan was rooted in ecological engineering, inspired by nature's own water managers like beavers. Scientists selected hardy carp, known for thriving in tough conditions and stirring up sediment, which oxygenates water and releases nutrients. Their waste would fertilize the land, while a network of shallow channels, fed by treated wastewater and runoff, would support both fish and plants. The fish were pioneers, not the end goal, meant to trigger a cascade of positive changes. By restoring one key function, the entire ecosystem could begin to heal. It was a gamble on nature's interconnectedness. Could a single species jumpstart the desert's recovery? Operation Oasis began in October 2024, as convoys of trucks delivered 10 million juvenile carp to a 500 square kilometer test site in the Gobi. Engineers had carved a web of canals and ponds, designed to mimic a river delta and maximize water retention. The water came from treated wastewater and mountain runoff, piped in through a new aqueduct. Scientists monitored every detail: water quality, fish health, and soil conditions. For local communities, the sight of fish pouring into the desert was surreal. The system was a closed loop, minimizing evaporation and waste. The first weeks were tense. Would the fish survive? Would the system hold? Dr. Meilin Wang, lead biologist, recalled, "We did the math, but nature decides." The world watched, waiting for the desert's answer. This was more than an experiment. It was a leap of faith. The year after the fish arrived brought quiet, steady change. Drones and satellites tracked fish populations and the first hints of green along canal banks. The carp thrived, keeping water oxygenated and nutrient-rich. Soil sensors showed rising moisture and nutrients as fish waste transformed sand into living soil. Within months, hardy grasses and reeds began to sprout, unplanted, carried by wind and water. By the project's first anniversary, a faint green fuzz lined the canals. Plants began purifying water and stabilizing soil, marking a critical milestone. The desert was responding, its silence broken by the first signs of life. A new ecosystem was taking root. The fish were the catalyst, and soon life spread beyond the water. New grasses sheltered insects, drawing dragonflies and migratory birds to the oasis. Enriched soil welcomed rodents and lizards, whose burrowing improved water absorption. The landscape gained complexity, supporting diverse habitats. The project even altered the local microclimate. Higher humidity and cooler air slowed evaporation and stabilized temperatures. Birds and decaying plants spread nutrients further, building fertile soil. The system began to sustain itself, each season bringing more growth. The initial investment of water and fish had triggered a self-perpetuating cycle. What was once barren sand was now a living, dynamic landscape. The desert was learning to thrive again. For local communities, the project was nothing short of transformative. What began as a distant government initiative soon became a deeply personal journey for every family, every villager, and every child who called this place home. At first, skepticism and doubt lingered in the air, but as the barren desert slowly turned green, those doubts gave way to wonder and excitement. The impossible was happening right before their eyes. The project created jobs, offering new income and hope. For many, it was the first time they could imagine a stable future without leaving their ancestral land. New opportunities blossomed alongside the greenery. Young people, who once dreamed only of distant cities, now saw a future at home. They found purpose and pride in building something lasting in their own villages. The arrival of fish brought a sustainable food source, fresh protein for families who'd never seen fish outside of television. For many, it was the first time they tasted fish caught just steps from their homes. To pull a fish from the sand, it is a miracle, said Lee, a local mother. Her words echoed the awe felt by many, as the impossible became part of daily life. The oasis became a source of pride and a destination for ecotourism. Visitors from far and wide came to witness the transformation, bringing new energy and ideas to the village. Locals became guides, sharing their stories and new ecological knowledge. They took pride in teaching others about the land they had helped revive, becoming stewards of their own environment. Bao, once a skeptic, now teaches children the names of new birds by the canals. The next generation learns not just to survive, but to thrive in harmony with nature. The fish brought the world to us and our future back, he reflected. For Bao and many others, the project was a bridge between past traditions and new beginnings. The project didn't just change the land, it changed lives. It brought neighbors together, sparked celebrations, and inspired a renewed sense of community. It restored hope, pride, and a sense of belonging. People who once felt forgotten now stood together, united by a shared achievement. Nothing, it seemed, was truly lost forever. In the heart of the desert, a new story had begun, one of resilience, renewal, and the enduring power of community. The Gobi Project has captured global attention as a model for fighting desertification. Its scale and ambition have inspired policymakers, scientists, and communities worldwide to rethink what's possible in the face of environmental crisis. Experts praise its integrated approach, restoring ecosystems, securing water and food, and boosting biodiversity all at once. By combining scientific innovation with traditional knowledge, the project has set a new standard for holistic restoration. Economists see potential for a new restoration economy, with sustainable aquaculture, ecotourism, and carbon capture offsetting costs. These industries not only create jobs, but also help local communities thrive, turning environmental challenges into opportunities for growth. But success depended on local conditions, reliable water, government support, and careful adaptation. Without these, even the best ideas can falter, highlighting the importance of strong partnerships and flexible strategies. Replicating the model elsewhere will require creativity and respect for local ecosystems. Each landscape has its own unique challenges and opportunities, demanding tailored solutions rather than one-size-fits-all answers. The lesson isn't to copy the Gobi exactly, but to use keystone species and ecological engineering to restore core functions. By understanding the roles of key organisms and designing systems that support them, we can rebuild resilient environments. Each region must find its own unlikely pioneer, beavers in Utah, carp in China. These species can jumpstart recovery, but the right choice depends on local ecology and culture. The implications for food security are profound. Restored landscapes can support new sources of nutrition, helping to buffer communities against climate shocks and supply chain disruptions. Land-based aquaculture offers protein with minimal land and water use, especially when integrated with wastewater treatment. This approach can help feed growing populations while reducing environmental impact. This polyculture approach could be key to future food resilience. By mimicking natural systems, we can create farms that are more productive, diverse, and resistant to disease or drought. The Gobi experiment is a large-scale proof of concept. It shows that with vision, collaboration, and persistence, even the harshest landscapes can be transformed. It's a blueprint for hope in a changing world, a reminder that restoration is possible, and that the future can be shaped by the choices we make today. As the sun sets over the Gobi, the transformed landscape stands as proof of what's possible. The experiment shows deserts are not lifeless. They can be renewed with ingenuity and respect for nature. The Gobi fish remind us that even the harshest places can be reborn. Nature-based solutions, not just mechanical fixes, hold the key to our biggest challenges. By thinking holistically, we can spark cascades of positive change, just as the carp did in the desert. The journey is just beginning. Sustaining the oasis will require ongoing care and adaptation. The story of the Gobi fish is a story of hope, innovation, and our role as stewards of the planet. In a single year, a silent desert learned to sing, a melody of water, life, and a future rediscovered.